The Pentagon's Gremlin system is a deployable, reconfigurable sensor suite developed by the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office in collaboration with the Georgia Tech Research Institute to monitor and investigate unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs, which is really just the modern term for what were previously called UFOs. Designed to enhance the U.S. military's ability to detect, track, and characterize UAPs, the system is intended to provide real-time data collection in response to sightings near sensitive national security sites, military installations, or critical infrastructure. Gremlin is a duplication of secret technologies and efforts already actively deployed and used by armed forces. Many believe that it is a front design designed not to interfere with assets already in place. So knowing what we know now, we have to look at the money and see if this is just another diversion of federal funds to somebody's pocket. Key features of the Gremlin system include some pretty advanced sensor technology. The system integrates a range of sensors such as two-dimensional and three-dimensional radar, which measures range and elevation to track objects. It also uses long-range electro-optical and infrared telescopes to capture visual and thermal data. GPS tracking and satellite communications enable precise location data and real-time data relay, while radio frequency spectrum monitoring analyzes signals to identify potential sources. Hyperspectral surveillance collects data across multiple electromagnetic spectrum bands at once, which helps identify unknown objects by their unique signatures. The system is housed in portable Pelican cases, allowing for rapid deployment to areas where UAP sightings are reported. Its main purpose is to establish a baseline of normal activity, like birds, drones, balloons, or satellites, to better identify anomalies. This so-called pattern of life analysis helps distinguish everyday objects from potential threats or unexplained phenomena. I don't know about you, but it occurs to me that this is an awful lot of effort and expense to locate and track something that we've been told doesn't exist for decades. I mean, how can they justify this if there's just no evidence of extraterrestrial activity? It turns out that development and deployment of the Gremlin system started back in October 2022. The COVID-19 pandemic officially lasted from early 2020 to mid-2023. Why would we begin developing a system like this smack dab in the middle of the pandemic? You wouldn't think it would be a priority, so I have to wonder if things weren't going on behind the scenes in preparation for Donald Trump's return. Just a thought. Initial testing was conducted in March 2024 at a large range in Texas, but there's no declassified official record linking the Pentagon's Gremlin system to a specific Texas test range publicly. However, it's been speculated that they occurred at the White Sands Missile Range extension into western Texas and Fort Cavazos. The system successfully collected data during these tests, detecting objects like birds, bats, drones, and even natural phenomena such as solar flares. As of November 2024, the Gremlin system was deployed at an undisclosed national security site for a 90-day pattern of life collection campaign, monitoring aerial activity and establishing a baseline for comparison against future anomalies. The location was chosen because of its environmental diversity and history of UAP reports, though the specifics are kept secret to avoid biased testing, like inviting deliberate flyovers. Looking ahead, AARO aims to refine the system for broader deployment in response to UAP incidents and is developing a science and technology plan to address challenges like insufficient high-quality sensor data and gaps in scientific understanding of UAPs. However, the Pentagon's official proclamation is that nothing is going on and there's no evidence of extraterrestrial activity. Then, less than 1 month later, somebody didn't agree when thousands of alleged drones exhibiting higher technological behaviors swarmed the skies across the world. I'll never forget how Trump famously said, "They know exactly what they are." I agree. I believe the Earth Alliance was attempting to disclose, and the dark forces did everything they could to cover it up. They lied, deployed distracting crafts to muddy the water, then deployed the strange fog to hamper visibility so that the ETs were unable to fly. Then the LA fires started, which pretty much made disclosure impossible at that particular time. This is where we must consider what we heard years ago from the Anon community. We were told that there would be either a false flag war or a false flag alien invasion. Of course, I'm sure the deep state has several backups, but what was the purpose of December 2024 sky activity? Was it more soft disclosure? Will the blue beam false flag be UFOs? It's looking that way. Recent psyops against the Federation appear to be preparing us for a fear-based ET display. Don't fall for it, guys, either way. Wait and see with calm in your heart, knowing that we are protected in multiple ways from extraterrestrial threats. So when and if we start seeing aliens and spaceships, it will be deliberate psyop. And technically, it could be orchestrated by the white hats or the black hats. So I beg you to remain calm. And as President Trump has repeatedly said, enjoy the show. Why does he keep saying that? For a bit of context and findings, the Gremlin system is part of AARO's mission, which was established in 2022 to centralize and investigate UAP reports. In its fiscal 2024 report, AARO documented 757 UAP sightings. Of these, 118 cases were resolved as mundane objects like balloons, birds, or drones, and 174 were nearing closure for similar reasons. Notably, 21 cases remain unexplained, though AARO maintains that they found no evidence of extraterrestrial activity. So what were they, and shouldn't our government find out? Now with Starlink out there, many have misidentified satellites. I took pause the first time I saw the satellites, but they are much easier to tell because they don't move erratically, and many of them are lined up in a row if you look. Don't you wonder what else is going on up there? AARO says they are working to declassify some UAP data to reduce stigma and encourage public and scientific input, with some videos having been released November 19, 2024. The system's deployment actually coincides with heightened public and congressional scrutiny of UAPs, which has really been fueled by whistleblower claims and those high-profile hearings, like the Senate Armed Services Committee hearing on November 19, 2024, where AARO Director John Kozlowski discussed Gremlin's role. Despite whistleblower assertions of UAP interactions with humans, the Pentagon maintains there is no evidence of extraterrestrial technology or cover-ups, as seen in reports debunking programs like Kona Blue, which proposed reverse engineering alien craft. What we must remember is that debunking reports can be manufactured just like scientific studies. The Pentagon Gremlin system should not be confused with DARPA's Gremlins program, which allegedly ended around 2022 and could launch and recover swarms of small reusable drones mid-air using a mothership, like a C-130. The system was designed for intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions, electronic warfare, or low-risk operations in contested environments. We are told that project concluded with several successful tests, but it was officially wrapped up. But if you remember, in December of 2024, there were multiple ongoing reported drone deployments over military bases worldwide, which militaries were unable to bring down, so they used alternate tactics. But where were these defense systems then? December 2024 made it woefully clear how reluctant our military was to shoot down multiple planes invading our military airspaces. They knew something, and I'll bet it was they were outmanned technologically, and it was one of those FAFO things. The Gremlin system allegedly represents a shift toward a scientific, data-driven approach to UAP investigations, aiming to demystify sightings and address national security concerns. They tell us that by providing high-quality sensor data, it seeks to resolve whether UAPs are mundane phenomena, adversarial technology, or maybe even something yet unexplained. Its deployment in 2025 marks a step toward systematic monitoring, though some in the UAP community remain skeptical, viewing AARO's efforts as dismissive of true extraterrestrial interactions and advancements. The Gremlin system is owned by the United States Department of Defense, specifically under the purview of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, which was established in July 2022 to investigate unidentified anomalous phenomena. The system was developed in collaboration with the Georgia Tech Research Institute, but ownership remains with the Department of Defense as part of its national security infrastructure. Control of the Gremlin system is managed by AARO, which oversees its deployment, operation, and data analysis. AARO, led by Director John Kozlowski, coordinates with other DoD components, federal agencies, and scientific partners to ensure the system is used effectively for UAP monitoring at sensitive sites. Operational control involves AARO personnel and potentially other DoD or contractor teams trained to deploy and maintain the portable sensor suites. Specific details about on-the-ground operators or chain of command are not publicly disclosed to protect operational security. So there you go, guys. There is no evidence of extraterrestrial activity, but we are openly telling you about a program to detect and counter UFOs, but we couldn't get it to work in December last year when our skies were inundated with UAPs. Let's end this video with a quote by FDR. In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can bet it was planned that way.